said, I have to show you something. I said, what is it? He said, Blue Elegance. I said, what? And it really just gives me a lot of joy to see people just excited again about something they haven't seen before.
I didn't make it by yesterday, but we're here today. I promised you I was going to come and film this thing because it is awesome. I love the colors of your uniforms here.
Sure.
What does TRSC stand for?
So TR is Tristan's Reef for my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And SC is South Carolina, where we were founded. I live in North Carolina now, but we kept the name because everybody kind of liked it.
So South Carolina, that's where
South
you're
Carolina.
at.
South Carolina is where we were founded in there. 10 by 10 spot in my garage.
That's where you started.
That's where I started.
In your garage.
In my garage.
You
yeah.
were
G-boys.
You were a garage
OG
guy.
G-boys. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that's a lot of people in the beginning.
Yeah.
Right?
And so we're like, we have to do something else. We have to go bigger, right? And so we said, all right, let's try retail once. We now have a 2,500 square foot facility that we're moving into. We have a 1,000 square foot facility that we're in right now. In our travels, we get to go all around the world these days and cherry pick and hand pick. We made so many really cool friends, and one of the cool friends I made was a buddy of mine who came up to me during a show and just said, hey, I export corals.
Right.
And I said, who are you, strange man? And he said, you have to come to my farm.
Yeah.
I said, where's your farm? He said, Bali. We went there earlier this year, and he said, I have to show you something. I said, what is it? He said, Blue Elegance. I said, what?
Right.
He said, Blue Elegance. He said, I have Red Elegance. If you Google Red Elegance, you get a million things.
Right.
You don't get that.
Right.
So when he said I had a Blue Elegance, I said, what?
And here it is. Now
there it is.
This is your Blue Elegance.
That
here.
is my Blue Elegance.
And this I really have never seen. And so I know that I've seen a Red Elegance before. It's extremely rare.
Right.
I've had one before for about 3 or 4 years. And so, like, what is the retail on that?
So we're retailing it for $1,000.
$1,000? That's really not that bad.
It's pretty fair. We've held it now for going on about 6 months or so as part of our display. This is more like a passion here. I just wanted to showcase this, and I had no reason for this extra table other than to show people that this is some cool things that's available.
And you do sell online, right?
Yeah, we do sell online.
So now these people will know that they can get your stuff, see what type of high-end showpieces that you get in.
Yeah, for sure. And people can shop anytime they want to. TRSCAquatics.com, where you can see kind of cool things that we collect from all over the place. Our motto is, put a little color in your glass box, and we try to do that, for everyone.
Is this your only Blue Elegance?
That is the only one.
Or did you stash one inside of your aquarium?
It's my only one.
No, I bet there is one in his aquarium. I can see in his.
There's a red one. There's a red one. Okay, maybe there's a small blue one. This is a small one.
I knew it.
Okay, there's a small blue one.
Tell me about the care of Elegance in general, and would you feel like this would be no different? Blue, red, green.
Yeah, for sure. Right? It is a rule at our shop is that we don't feed any of these big LPS creatures anything with shells.
Okay.
We found that every time you feed them something with a shell, they end up pooping up that little black stuff. They start getting rotten inside. Yeah, no shells, right? Bugs will crawl in there trying to eat the shells, and we don't like that. So we typically stick to powders, right? And I think Fritz came out with a powdered food recently too,
you
right?
just wait right here. You just wait right here. Talk to him for a second.
Yeah, we actually say some of the best things to feed them are pellets, just actual soft pellets, something that will easily squish down and get into their mouth, something that will break apart if a fish tries to, bite it, or a crab or somebody tries to break it apart. It won't allow them to rip their mouth open. So that's the first thing. Lighting is also important. A lot of people overlight these corals. Believe it or not, even though this looks really bright, these guys are only in about 100 or 120 par, and we find that they really like that to be inside of that par.
All right, brought you some gifts. Okay, so
sweet.
Here's my powdered food. It's a little bit lower in the fatty acids and that you would get out of some of the other foods.
Sure.
But I got you some anemone pellets as well. And that's a cold extrusion food, so it's completely soft. Look, check this out.
So we were looking at these the other day, and Matt was telling us that this is a line that we have to bring because it's just like perfect.
It's never been baked, so all the nutrients is still in it.
So it's soft, and I was just telling them that one of the important things for us is like making sure that anything that attacks that pellet while these things are trying to eat, we're just going to break apart, and that's what we wanted to do. We don't want them to go in there, reach in, and start ripping.
Right.
So lighting, like I said, we do 120, 140 par. We just keep it right down on the bottom. it's important to know where they are in the reef, you know.
Where would
So
they
that-
find them in the reef?
So these guys here, we usually find them down low on the side of a rock, typically in an area where it's turbulent water and a lot of stuff is kicked up.
Hard
in the-
water,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, a lot of stuff gets kicked up. So they do like their flow. When you put them on a hard flow, they'll tend to be a lot smaller. They'll shrink up a bit, right? But if you have a good gentle flow, which you'll typically find in the lower part of a tank, they'll open up really big. You know, you give them ample space and they will open up for you. If you're gonna dip these guys, we tend to steer towards more iodine-based dips, right? Elegances were tough because of, you know, this thing called Elegance disease is going around. Everybody's Elegances were
I heard about
melting
that.
and turning brown jelly. Now, they've kind of figured out that some of that is bacterial.
Right.
Some of that's just care and collection. And it was simple. Iodine was one of the biggest cures out there. We put them on low par, decent flow, and we feed them really good. And it does a really solid job of getting it done.
Gotta look at it through the glasses.
Yeah.
Look, right through there.
Definitely excited to try some of these foods in our store because we are bringing in the line as soon as it's available to us. But yeah, my thing was I love soft foods. I just think it's really easy for them to consume.
Yep.
And things that are geared toward things like anemone pellets. Everybody tries to feed anemones all kinds of stuff. You know, mysis and all this other stuff. I'm like, nah.
No, this
I
is
kind of want to
good.
give them something soft and squishy that they can kind of crunch up.
This is the best squirrel in your booth right now?
I want to say yes. This has been my favorite thing. I've spent the most amount of my time here explaining to people how cool this is and having them appreciate it. And it really just gives me a lot of joy to see people just excited again about something they haven't seen before. Every time we come to the show, we want to bring something truly unique or something that we find to be truly unique and just give that to many people as we can.
Well, I love what you're doing, and you've got a great reputation in the
thank you
industry
so much. Yeah,
far.
I appreciate it.
I love the uniforms. I love the
Yeah.
enthusiasm, and just keep it up, and I'll see you on my travels.
Absolutely,
All right?
yeah. We'll
Thank
see you in the next one. See you in
All right.
Daytona, actually, right?
Nailed it.